Good morning from Wolf Creek. Actually, I had a very good night's sleep. But it's 5 a.m. I'm going to have a coffee and get ready and go. I'd also like to show you something infuriating. We've got some tiling on the walls here, very nice. Yeah, everything's nice and sort of square. Who put that there? Seriously? Same again here. What? It should go there. Up and at 'em then, and a bit of a rookie mistake in that I am having to leave in twilight. I didn't want to do any sort of dark driving while I'm on these back roads because of roos and maybe drop bears, right? But I'm going to have to leave because it's nearly 6 o'clock and I need to get to Adelaide sort of before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In this video then, I'm going to drive from wherever I am in the arse end of Wolf Creek anywhere to Adelaide. Great. All the Kia, no idea. Check this out. Okay, so it's not too bad. I'm going to get on the road now. In all honesty, I could have had a much worse night's sleep than that. I went to bed about 10 o'clock in the end, and it's now 6 o'clock. I'm going to gain half an hour whilst driving into South Australia. Let's set up the sat-nav and see how long it's going to be. Okay, well, not as bad as I expected. According to my sat-nav, 5 hours and 8 minutes, 551 kilometres. Going to get there by about 11:30. Now, with stops on the way, I'm going to get there probably about 12 o'clock. And I'm okay with that, which gives me time to have a shower, sort my stuff out, because the plan for the rest of today is once I get back to Adelaide, is to get myself sorted, and then Ryan and I are driving the 6 hours to Port Lincoln to do the Port Lincoln attractions this weekend. There's Tuna Fest going on, which is people basically throwing tuna, and we're heading to Coffin Bay as well to do some oyster stuff. There's also something really special that I'm going to try and do, but I'm not going to tell you what that is yet. I may have mentioned it in a previous video and a few people may have picked up on it. It's a bucket list item, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. We've got to get there first. Before I go anywhere this afternoon, I have got to clean the windscreen because it is fly central. The perfect example, and I wasn't filming, of why I didn't want to do this necessarily at this time of day, or you've got to be careful. Two roos just stood at the side of the road. I could see them maybe 200-300 metres in advance. I waited till I got there. I had to slam my brakes on because I'm like, right, there's a car coming. Now let's jump across the road. But great experience to see Skippy and his mate this morning. Good morning from the outback. I just had to pull over and get that sunrise, to be fair, from the side of the road. I've had to run through a field, kind of, to get it. Scrubland. Seen many kangaroos this morning. Right, we'll carry on. Yeah, it's been kangaroo central this morning. They've all been having their brekkie. Either that or they've all been out here on the piss. Also, just remembered I've still not paid for my Sydney tolls. So remind me please, I need to pay for my Sydney tolls. And the mighty Swift is here. It's the first real bit of civilization I've seen this morning, which is a place called Euston. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of vineyards, or vines here, and they're out in the fields or the vineyards harvesting the grapes already at 7 o'clock. I suppose I've got to do it before it gets too warm. But all the grapes, massive grapes like that.
Follow the road for 75 kilometres.
Also, I'm being chased down by a Mustang. Well, I've just pulled into an ampole. in the middle of nowhere, seemingly, and it's a beautiful new build. Check it out. Absolutely gorgeous. 174.9. I've got half a tank, so I'm going to fill up. I am going to grab a coffee here. And maybe some brekkie, we'll see. It's 7:45, ETA 11:37. I've also got the facility here to clean my windscreen, which is good news. $37 and a cent, still beating the system. Got myself a breakfast burger, $8, so we shall see how that is. Let's check out the breakfast burger and what's in it. I'm at the Cliffs Roadhouse. Breakfast burger, egg, bacon, sausage and cheese, $8. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely going to need to stay hydrated after this. Oh, hell yeah. I'm okay with that. Right, I'm not going to show me scoffing my breakfast burger on here. You can't argue with that. That was incredible. Quite possibly the best thing I've eaten since I've been here, apart from Ryan's barbecue. Yeah. On the road again, according to Sharon the sat-nav, note her new name. 3 hours and 52 minutes, so not too far. So I'm on my journey back to Adelaide, as you know, and I've come across the Mildura Holden Motor Museum. Now, sadly, because I'm on a timescale this morning, I cannot go in. It doesn't open till sort of 9:30, which is a massive shame. I sort of loved to have gone in and checked out some of the Holdens that they have here at the Motor Museum. It opens at 9:30 though, if you fancy it, anywhere between Tuesday and Sunday. I'll show you what we can see through the gates. That's a shame that I wasn't able to go into the Holden Motor Museum here at Mildura. A lifetime pursuit of Holden by Ron Morello, apparently. Looks great. It looks a tiny place, but it's one man's sort of passion project, isn't it? I suppose you can check it out online. I'll do some research, see if I can find some pictures of it. Anyway, we continue. I'll turn around. It's just off the main road as well, so very easy to get to. Shame I couldn't go in there, because that would have been awesome. Just driven through Mildura, which seems like quite a big place in comparison to the other places I've been driving through. It's sort of, probably in my opinion, on par with Wagga Wagga, which, when you remember I drove through yesterday, was a good few hours away from here. 388 kilometres to Adelaide, in fact to Semaphore, because my intention is to go to Semaphore, get a coffee or something, and then go to Ryan's house. Every time I've said I'm going to get a coffee or something, I've never got a coffee. It's always been a pie.
After 400 metres, leave the roundabout at the second exit and continue to follow the A20.
I might as well just say I'm getting a pie. Also, thumbs up for roundabouts. Thumbs up for roundabouts, please. Hey, bum bum bum. Got any grapes? So as I mentioned earlier in the video, today is not my only trip. Later this afternoon, Ryan and I are driving to Port Lincoln. We're going to a 63-year-old event called Tunarama, which was started in Port Lincoln to celebrate the seafood industry and the fact that the fishermen and women there provide a massive amount of seafood and risk their lives to bring seafood to Australia and the world. One of the main things that Tunarama celebrates is the tuna toss. Yeah, throwing fish. It's a bit like us in the UK having the cheese rolling, etc, etc. It's a bit of an eccentric tradition. It's a 10 kilogram rubber tuna now, because tuna is quite precious to the people of Port Lincoln. So they're not going to be throwing actual fish. They've got categories in men's, women, junior and children. In fact, the children don't throw a tuna, they throw little prawns. So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing the tuna toss in Port Lincoln. There's also fireworks tonight and an opening ceremony. It's going to be fun. We're probably going to eat some seafood and just enjoy the local atmosphere of the Eyre Peninsula. But the tuna toss, an interesting tradition from sort of the Port Lincoln area. I'm about 6 kilometres away from the border from Victoria to South Australia. I've just seen a big sign about quarantine, and of course, if you've seen the Border Force programmes, you'll see that there's loads of stuff that you can't bring into Australia to protect flora and fauna and wildlife and all sorts of stuff. It's like that Simpsons episode, isn't it, where Bart Simpson brings in a cane toad or something. Anyway, so we're going to be crossing the border. Whether or not I'm going to get stopped, I don't know. Welcome to South Australia. Quarantine restrictions. Quarantine station. So we'll soon find out. The only thing I'm trying to bring across the border is shapes and lemon cookies. Fruit and veg, what can't you bring in? So I suppose if I had a banana or an apple or potatoes, that's a big one. Good job I didn't buy some of those oranges at the side of the road earlier. Or tomatoes. It's interesting, in such a big country, that even though it's the same country, they still have these prohibitions of stuff that you can bring into different states. Very interesting. You'd have thought by now the country would have just settled down. That's got me thinking. Supermarkets. How are they getting their produce around the country? Is it being flown in? Is it being grown locally? Does it have to go into quarantine? Does it have to be treated? Because a Woolworths in Sydney and a Woolworths in Adelaide must get the products from the same place, right? Quarantine station. Let's see where the quarantine bin is. Quarantine bin. Oh, it's down there. I think it's just a bin, to be honest with you. Oh, I was hoping to have to go through a checkpoint and all sorts. Am I in South Australia now? Fair enough. Is this an honour-based system? Like, put your stuff in the quarantine bin and carry on? I was expecting some sort of... Well, I don't know what I was expecting. Fair enough. Maybe it does rely on honesty and people loving the country. Either which way, I haven't got anything to declare. Oh, checking station ahead, here we go. All vehicles must stop. Here we go. Clearly I was too quick to judge there. All trucks and buses must enter the quarantine station. What about cars? Better not speed through here. 60k. Light vehicles use through lane. I'm guessing I'm a light vehicle. Light vehicles. Now what do I do? Quarantine checkpoint. All vehicles stopped for exception. Entry of livestock, plant materials, fruit, veg, plants and soil is restricted. Fair enough. Do I have to speak to this lady? I'm going to speak to this man that looks like John Simpson from the Boston Classic Car Club. How you doing? Yeah, all good, thank you.
Quarantine inspection here.
Yep.
No fruit, veggies or plants?
Nope.
And I can see the boot from here as well, so that's all good. And there's no eskies or crawler bergs down there? Nah.
No, I've got fuel and I've got water.
Yeah,
thank you very
that's a
much.
safe one.
Cheers. There you go. That was the quarantine inspection. Making sure that I've not got tons and tons of potatoes, I suppose. Just waiting to go. As simple as that, I suppose. Have you got any fruit and veg? No. Have you got anything you shouldn't have? No. And he did look like John Simpson, to be fair. Here we go. Dunlop welcomes you to the Phylloxera-free, the Riverland and South Australia. Here we go. I continue my journey. Welcome to South Australia. I wonder if there is checkpoints like that in other states, or if it's just South Australia that does it. It must be other places. But interestingly, I didn't get checked going into Victoria or New South Wales. I suppose this region is so reliant on farming, vineyards, that they don't want bad stuff in the region. Anyway, that was the checkpoint. I'm heading over the historic Paringa Bridge, apparently, over the Murray. Oh, it's narrow. That was the Paringa Bridge. I have to admit, South Australia feels different to New South Wales and Victoria. I know it's the same country, I get it. It just feels different. It does feel like my place. I do love it. Those of you that have commented on my videos that I've put on so far where I'm whinging about roundabouts or lack of roundabouts, one thing I've noticed on my way back, especially into South Australia, is that when my sat-nav is saying turn right, turn left, those turns have been removed and a roundabout has been put in its rightful place. Lots of brand new roundabouts being installed here in South Australia. Clearly common sense, right? 178 kilometres now on this road, which is the A20, 220 kilometres to Adelaide. My ETA is about 12:30. I've just messaged Em, who is Ryan's girlfriend, to say this is the time I'm about to arrive. Will someone be in? Because I am desperate for a cup of coffee and probably a shower and to get my stuff sorted before we go away. I'm sure I'll stop on the way between now and there to grab something to eat for lunch. It's got to be it's not going to be a pie. I'm not having a pie today. No more, or pie face. No more pies today. I also need petrol when I get to Port Adelaide. It's not been a bad journey so far, but I've still got 2 hours to go. I've stopped to look at the scenic Murray River. There it is. Ow! What is that in my shoe? Ow! I've just stood on something in my shoe. Ow! And it's stuck in my foot. Hang on a minute. Ow! Whatever that is, it's like a spiky seed. Ow! Where did that come from? Anyway, I've stopped to look at the Murray River and it is beautiful. This is the Murray River viewpoint where I am. Take a look at this. Right, you happy you've seen it? I'm happy I've seen it. There it is, the Murray River viewpoint. I'm having to pull over because I have just had my first roadkill experience in Australia. I've just hit something and I'm going to now check the Swift out to see how much damage it's done. I don't think it's done too much, to be honest.
Make a U-turn if possible.
This certainly didn't do the Cockatoo any good that I've just smashed. Yes, a whole host of Cockatoo were at the side of the road. I mean, feathers did go flying. And I think it has cracked the grille. No, thankfully it hasn't cracked the grille. I think that's where I hit the Cockatoo. Please now join me at the side of the road to remember the life of Charlie the Cockatoo, who died in the Riverlands after getting hit by Sharon the Suzuki Swift. That's made me sad. R.I.P. Charlie. I mean, at least I didn't write the bastard car off with a Kangaroo, because that would have cost me $5.5 grand. We have got, how many more kilometres? 137 more kilometres. I need to just continue the rest of my journey without hitting a dingo, a wallaby, a small child, or a kangaroo, and we'll be good. So I'm rapidly approaching Adelaide, and I've got about 100 kilometres to go. In fact, I've got exactly 100 kilometres to go now to Semaphore Beach. An hour is the journey. The way I've done it is I'm going sort of up and over the city, so I'm not actually going anywhere near the city centre. That's the plan anyway. It depends on where my sat-nav takes me and traffic. You can see South Australia in front of us. Still thinking about Charlie. R.I.P. Charlie. Bless him. I did beep him. For those of you that are into wine, I am currently in the Barossa region, which obviously is a large area producing wine in South Australia. I have been to Barossa wineries before. It's not my thing, as you know, if you watch the videos. I'm not a wine drinker, but I can certainly appreciate the area. Certainly an area to experience if you come to South Australia, especially if you want to do cellar door tours. I'm about 45 minutes away now from Ryan's house. I am going to have to stop somewhere and grab something to eat, and then I'll wait until Ryan finishes work, catch up with Emma, do some editing, see where the world takes me. I need to fill up with petrol as well before we go. But 81 kilometres on my mammoth journey. It's mad to think that yesterday morning I was in Sydney. I was with Pete Z in a hotel room, take that out of context, having breakfast in Sydney. And I didn't leave until about 9:30, 10 o'clock. The road from Sydney to Adelaide has been long and boring. Is it achievable in one day? Yeah. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. If you were to leave at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, you're getting to Adelaide at 10, 11 p.m, and that's twilight or nighttime driving in the early hours of the morning, and nighttime driving at night. The sun, it starts to get dark here at the moment in summer, 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's not sensible. If you were sharing the driving, absolutely. If I'd come with another person, yeah, we could have done it in one day. I could have had a sleep, they could have driven. But it's still not advisable with that dark time because of the roofs. They're just like jumping in front of cars. Couple of bonus old Fords for you. If you watched my video where I was in Sydney, you'll know that I appeared on the radio. I was a bit blindsided because I thought they were going to talk to me about my YouTube channel, but no. They went along the route of asking me about my policing career, which, if you didn't know, I am a UK police officer. And they wanted to know about if I was considering joining, and I went along with the interview, and I've just had a phone call from their recruitment department talking me all through it, and actually it sounds very attractive. Obviously I am skilled in certain skills that I would not be able to transfer over here, and that is a shame because obviously I've been working hard for the past 6 or 7 years to get those skills up to scratch in the UK. Anyway, but I've just had that phone call. So South Australian Police, off the back of me talking to the Commissioner on the radio the other day, have called me and have now sent me an application form. Could be an option. That's enough of that. I'm about 20 minutes away, 22 kilometres now. I'm coming into the city, starting to see some of the awesome Holdens. I didn't see too many Holdens, really, when I was driving in New South Wales. Mainly all modern cars, but back in South Australia, Holden territory. So the drive this evening a 6.5 hour drive. We're going to share the driving, Ryan and I. Rightly so, because I think after about 6 o'clock I'm going to be asleep. So I'm glad I've got someone to keep me company as well. Sipping a cider with Daniel in Sydney seems a lifetime ago now, but I have to remind myself that it was actually only Wednesday afternoon. We're now Friday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when I am recording this. And I've driven about 1,300 kilometres over those 2 days. So far, for anyone that cares, by the way, 4,022 kilometres in Australia. That's a lot of driving. And I've got a long way to go yet, because I'm going to Port Lincoln now. So a lot more kilometres going to be racked up in the next few days. Anyway, I'm about to arrive at Ryan's. I'm going to have something to eat, have a cup of tea, and get my stuff packed ready for our journey. Because for me, I've been on holiday obviously for, I don't know, 2.5 weeks now, and this is the start of Ryan's vacation. He's got a holiday booked to go to Port Lincoln, so this for him, well, technically is his holiday, so he's going to be as excited as I am. My journey to Port Lincoln is going to be coming in a totally different video. However, if you've enjoyed this video, thumbs up please if you can. That'd be awesome. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel please, and hype the video. That really helps as well. Yeah, I've made it back to Adelaide. Glad I wasn't doing that in one go. Thanks for watching this latest video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, I've selected a couple more videos for you, especially on this page. You might enjoy those, and don't forget to subscribe to always keep up to date with the channel.